You give what you can spare, maybe more. You only want to do right. But sometimes you give too much, more than you're able to the point where sometimes there's nothing left. Time and time again, you've given to family, friends, to companies you've worked for, and within them, your work family. From loved ones to strangers, you've gone out of your way to give. You've given so much of yourself to so many around you, whether it was time, energy, money, emotions, your trust, your mind, your heart. You only try to do what's best. So you do. From yourself, you give to others because it's right. Sometimes you give what you can spare. Sometimes you give more. And sometimes you give too much. What happens when you give too much? And suddenly you stop. No matter where you just were, you're likely not too far off from where you just ended, at a dead stop, feeling stuck, alone, and empty. Even through all those times you told yourself, nothing negative will get to me if I don't let it. Yet now you find yourself within negative's grasp and an empty cup to pour from. Things feel insurmountable, too much to withstand and overcome. At one time, you were so full of abundance, it felt like your cup runneth over. You were abundant with love in your relationships, love you gave and received in return, to and from family and friends alike, perhaps even beyond those closest to you. Abundance in health. You once felt young, whether your age confirmed you were or not. Your cup overflowing with energy. Your heart, mind, and body working in perfect synchronicity. Spirit and soul in harmonious balance with the former. And once so abundant with happiness and joy, not a care in the world. Unbothered by mistakes of the past, unfazed by uncertainty of the future, simply enjoying the present, and full of abundance. You lived life and shared your abundance with others so they could raise their glass as well. But eventually, a time comes where you do look back and realize what you've given may have been too much. Over time, the positivity you've poured out of your own cup and into others leaves your cup empty. Before you even had time to notice, just like your cup, your internal world remains empty until it's filled again. And with no cups of the same potion around you, the same positive potion you poured into others, a cup you never even knew existed, starts to fill you. A thick, ominous, and toxic, dark liquor is poured. This black and bitter brew of negativity begins to seep into every crack that nearly broke you and soaks through every fiber of your being. Depression, despair, and sadness from a dark, cold elixir fills your cup to the brim. You may not have chosen to pour from this cup, but one cannot drink from an empty cup. And this time, your cup runneth over with liquid poison. Feeding into the negativity, this dark fluid pulls out of you. You fear your negative thoughts. You start to wonder, did I give enough? You feed yourself lies and start to repeat them. Your negative words snowball into negative actions. You blame others for your own mistakes, sometimes the same people you gave too much of yourself to, which leads to negative opinions, words, and actions against you, pouring more and more liquid poison into your cup that already runneth over. No matter how much positivity you once poured into their cups, now you might as well have not poured a single drop at all. And then suddenly, it clicks. When you've given more than enough of yourself, when you've given too much of yourself, you realize, what do you have left for yourself? The answer, a cup overflowing with poison. You give what you can spare, maybe more. You only try to do right. But when you pour too much of yourself into everyone else around you, more than you're able to, how can you drink from an empty cup? You can still do right, but by giving too much of yourself, do you do right by yourself? Because if you can't do right by yourself, how can you do right by those around you? What do you have left? You must care for yourself to also care for others. This is a lesson in self-care.